Guys, good to go?
Yep, we'll do the same thing. Dash, go ahead, and then when he's done, Drew, you'll be up.
All right. Coach, I just want to start off by talking about Cheney. I mean, the home run was great and all, but to do it on a 1-2 count, I mean, just the job that he did there, 'cause that's not easy to do. I mean, you got a pitcher throwing that hard. He was just able to time it up just right despite that count.
Yeah, no question about it. It was a clutch hit and 2 strikes, guys throwing 93 to 95, and the shadows have crept in. So, when that batter's eye has the sun on it and the shadows are on the field, it's just really tough to see. And that's the advantage for us right now is this is when we play all of our inter squads. We practice around this time. So our guys are used to seeing it, but it still doesn't make it any easier. So guys throwing 93, 95 miles an hour, and Cheney Rogers, fouls some balls off and has a really good at bat and just got it up in the jet stream. I was wishing for it. I just got done saying on the radio, I wished it to happen because I looked up at the flag and saw it was going a little bit to right center and just hoped he got one up there in the jet stream and he barreled it up and that's a big hit for us.
I was about to say, I mean, y'all have been kind of scuffling a little bit with the bat, so you kind of needed a big hit to kind of get you juice. Of course, we'll know more about that tomorrow and the days to follow. But for a team that has been kind of having a little bit of difficult time, this came at a perfect time for you fellas.
Well, it's amazing. We just got through game 3 and, Ben Anderson and Riley King, you could argue those are our 2 best hitters and they got their first hits in that last inning today. And Cheney Rogers too, that was his first hit of the season. So 3 veteran guys that are going to lead us and be really good players for us this year have been off to a slow start, which isn't unusual. I mean, hitting's a really hard thing to do, but look what Corey Collins and what Fernando Gonzalez have been able to do. Those guys are, it's amazing what one game will do for you. Fernando yesterday, he looked timid. He didn't look like the Fernando that we had seen all fall and, all throughout inter squads. Fernando's really calm and very mature as a player. Yesterday, he was a little sped up and that's very normal for a first game, especially when you're catching. It's a tough position to play your first game in college. But today it just slowed down and man, he barreled 3 balls up today and looked really good.
Luke Wagner, that the game that he pitched today, 4 solid innings for you. That second inning, when he got that double play, it really kind of seemed like, anyway, from watching from where I'm watching it from today, kind of let him kind of I won't say relax, but just he was able to exhale a little bit. They were able to really start pitching pretty well after that point in time.
Yeah, a lot of times you see pitchers when they get into a little bit of a jam and then get themselves out of it. It gives them that momentum, and that's offensively. You got to take advantage of it when you get those opportunities. And Luke was able to pitch out of it. He's really competitive, and he throws 3 pitches for strikes. And you see, I mean, we've got a lot of confidence in him as a hitter as well. So you're going to see a lot of Luke Wagner on the mound and with the bat. He's just a 2-way, really good player. And then. Jaden Woods going into game 2. I mean, he's just the upside on him is through the roof and really excited for him to be able to pitch like that and really kept his heart rate down. And that's the thing that we've talked to Jaden about. I can remember the first practice we had in the fall, and we did bunt defense, and he flew off the mound to get a ball at 10,000 miles an hour, and he threw it down into the bullpen because he goes so fast. And that's all we've talked to Jaden about, just slow down. And he has. And today, man, he didn't even break a sweat. He looked really good. And I'm just glad that Cheney was able to pick us up because, we made the pitching change. We felt like that was the right move. We felt like it was the third time around in the order. And we had all those right-handed hitters coming up, and Nolan Crisp has a really good slider. And, Nolan just didn't have it today, and that happens. But Nolan's going to be there for us. He's going to have a great year for us. But today wasn't his day. Big deal. We'll turn the page, and he'll come back for us. He kept us there the next inning and did a good job. But we made that move just because it was the third time around. We felt like Jaden was getting close to his pitch count, and we wanted to give him a different look. And it backfired a little bit on us, but Cheney Rogers bailed us out.
And I know it's out of necessity that you're having to do it, but can you ever remember a time when you personally have had to rely on so many true freshman pitchers 3 games into a season like y'all have so far this year?
No, not this many. In 2017, we had a ton of those freshmen. That's when Losi and Christofac and Aaron Shunk were pitching for us, but not this many. To start 3 out of the 4 games with freshmen is unheard of. And again, the exciting thing for us is we've got guys, Jonathan Cannon and Ryan Webb and Michael Polk and Logan Moody and Brandon Smith. I mean, it's 5 big-time arms that are going to be back with us starting next weekend and then filtering in week 3 and week 4. So by the time we get to the SEC, all these freshmen will have had these opportunities, which we talked about, maybe not even playing 4 games these first 2 weekends and going back to 3 games. But then we finally just decided, you know what, let's throw those freshmen out there. They need the opportunity, they need the chance, and let's see what they can do. And I'm glad they're getting that opportunity.
And just real quick, getting back to Ben and Riley real quick. I mean, again, the home run was huge, but was almost just as big for those guys to get those hits there in the 7th inning to kind of, like you said, kind of get them going a little bit.
Yeah, they can breathe a little bit, you know, when you're struggling with the bat and you can't buy a hit. You squeeze the bat a little bit tighter and you try a little bit harder, and it makes hitting a lot more difficult. So, you know, Riley's first at bat of the year, it was like a 9 or 10 at pitch at bat, and he ended up lining out, and we thought he had a double, and then they reviewed it and they brought it back. So, and then he hadn't really had too many good at bats since then. He'd been scuffling a little bit and pressing, but that was a huge at bat. That was a veteran approach, what he did that last at bat. Most people get up in that situation and they get excited and they try to pull the ball, and that's when you see that rollover ground ball to third. And that's what they had that guy in there for, to throw changeups to see if Riley was going to try to pull him. And then they get the 5-2-3 double play. And that's the dagger you can't have right there. So Riley had the perfect approach, hit the ball the other way, didn't try to pull it, and won the game for us.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thanks, Anthony.
Drew, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I was just talking about that Fernando hit and run that worked out really well. Is that something, doing hit and runs and sacrifice bunting, is that something we'll see a lot of this season?
Well, especially with Fernando, you're going to see a lot of hit and runs. He can handle the bat as good as anybody we have. He can hit the ball the other way. He can pull the ball with power. You're going to see him hit some home runs too. But the ball jumps off his bat. 2 of the 3 singles he hit today were just squared up line drive, probably 100 miles an hour off the bat. So you're going to see see some power numbers from him, but you're also going to see him hit the ball the other way and do some hitting and running. But yeah, the sack bunts, it just was working for us. We were able to get some balls on the ground, and they threw it around a little bit. They made a couple mistakes. And so that's what we were talking about there in the bottom of the 7th. If Ben Anders gets on, are we going to try to bunt? And Coach Daly and I, put our heads together and said, absolutely, we got to bunt. Even if he was just on first, to try to make them make a play and see if maybe we can get an error or something like that to win the game. But we need to keep putting pressure on them. That's what we try to do as much as possible. And we just hung in there today and found a way to win.
And going to Will Pearson coming out of the bullpen, trying to shut the game down and give you guys a chance to win it there in the 7th. Why did you have so much confidence in another true freshman in that big spot in the last inning?
Well, we have that much confidence in Will because Will has that much confidence in himself. Will Pearson thinks he is the best looking kid on the planet. He thinks he's the best pitcher on the planet. He thinks he's the best basketball player on the planet. That's why he's so good, because he honestly believes that. And that's what makes really good athletes great athletes, because they believe that they're that good. So Will has a chip on his shoulder. He's very confident. I've known Will since he was in the 6th grade. He went to high school with my daughter. So I've been kicking him out of my house since he's been in the 6th grade. And, but man, he's got a swagger to him. And he really believes that he's that good. And for him to come in that situation as a freshman, a tie game, facing the middle of their lineup, and he didn't even flinch. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. Threw 7 pitches and dominated that inning.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
We all good?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.